Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Sunday, July 16, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link to our Patreon in the description and comments section below. San Francisco Giants vs Pittsburgh Pirates. With a win in the series opener on Friday, the Giants ran their win streak to 3 games in 4 of their last 5. The offense struck for 10 hits and 6 runs on Friday. This season they were averaging 4.6 runs per game through 91 games and hitting .248 as a team, which ranked 16th overall. Rookie Luis Mattis went 2-for-4 with an RBI and a run on Friday. It was his 7th multi-hit game and 23 appearances this season. He has not struck out over his last 4 games and has K'(D) just 10 times in 85 plate appearances. The Pirates are one of the coldest teams running right now, losing 8 of their last 10 games as they've spiraled down the standings. Over their last 10 games, prior to Saturday, they averaged 4.1 runs on offense but allowed 5.8 per game. On the year, the pitching staff has allowed 4.7 runs per game, on average. They've given up 781 hits through 91 games, tying them for 8th most. Sunday's starter Beto is making just his 6th big league start. He picked up his first win in the majors in his last outing, 1.1 innings of scoreless relief against the Diamondbacks last Sunday. Since being called up in June, Sunday will be the 3rd time Beto has pitched in front of a home crowd. The Pirates' offense had the 10th lowest team batting average, .238, and 6th lowest on-base percentage, .385, through 91 games. They've scored 383 runs, the 7th fewest overall, and their 82 home runs were 4th fewest. Pittsburgh was 5th overall with 81 stolen bases as a team. According to reports, the team is getting ready to welcome back Andrew McCutchen on Sunday. The veteran was on the 10-day Illinois with right elbow inflammation but is expected to return for this game. He led the team with a .268 batting average and a .389 OBP. The Giants are likely to be favored on the money line, even without a starting pitcher being named. The Pirates have a rookie starter who has been decent, but he may be due for a reality check at the major league level. San Francisco's offense has been performing well, particularly with Mattis and fellow rookie Patrick Bailey stepping up to the plate without fear. If Wood is the Giants' starter, he should be able to handle the Pirates' offense without difficulty. McCutchen's return to the lineup will certainly be a boost for the home team, but it is unknown how much his shoulder injury will affect his swing in the long run. According to Covers.com, San Francisco has covered the run line in 40 of their last 72 games. Take the Giants on the run line. This season these two teams have had a combined 86 of their games hit over the respective total. Together they scored 10 runs on Friday, pushing that game over the total of 9. It was the 2nd straight meeting between the 2 and the 4th in the last 5 that landed over the total. On the year, these two teams have allowed a combined average of exactly 9 runs per game. However, that number jumped up to 9.8 over both teams' last 10 games. The over is 7-3 in the Pirates' last 10 games at home. Take the over. Chicago White Sox vs Atlanta Braves. The Chicago White Sox finished the first half with 7 losses in their final 10 games, and only the woeful Royals are keeping the White Sox out of last place in the AL Central Division. The White Sox will likely be sellers by the end of this month, with several veterans on the roster that could prove useful to a playoff contender. Just 2 years removed from a division title, the White Sox will try and quicken the rebuilding process by parting with several veterans at the trade deadline. The Atlanta Braves finished a dominant first half at 60-28, with the team's best defensive half in team history. They set a record for home runs in the first half in team history and were 25-5 during a stretch late in the first half. The team did nearly all this damage without its projected top 2 starters in Kyle Wright and Max Fried. MVP candidate Ronald Acuna Jr. has led the offense while hitting over .300, with over 20 home runs and 41 stolen bases. Atlanta starts the second half at home, hoping to create further distance between themselves and the rest of the NL East division. It's hard to bet against the red-hot Braves at any time, even with the White Sox sending their ace to the mound on Sunday. Allard should fare well against a White Sox team that is hitting just .229 on the road this season. Allard has gotten the Braves into the 5th inning in each of his 2 starts this season and shouldn't have a problem doing the same here against a light-hitting White Sox. Atlanta, meanwhile, has been one of the best hitting teams in baseball this season, ranked 2nd in runs per game, including 5.7 runs per game at home. The Braves are also 1st in home runs per game on the season. Cease has pitched decently this season, with an ERA over 4 on the road, but he'll have much less room for error here, backed by the White Sox lineup. Take the Braves with the money line. and our total pick is over. San Diego Padres vs Philadelphia Phillies. Seth Lugo is expected to start for the Padres. He went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, 1 walk, 1 earned run, and struck out 6 in a no decision in his last start against the Los Angeles Angels. On the season, Lugo has a record of 3-4 in 12 starts with a 3.39 ERA, 1.24 WHIP, and a 59/13 KBB ratio. Opposing batters are hitting .263 against Lugo this season. The Padres have been average to less than average on offense this season. They are in the middle of the league in runs, RBIs, OBP, SLG, and OPS. San Diego is bottom 10 in the league in hits and batting average. Fernando Tatis leads the team in home runs and RBIs. This offense has been a major disappointment so far this season. With the likes of Fernando Tatis, Juan Soto, Manny Machado, and Xander Bogaerts, they should be top 5 to 10 in all offensive categories. Zach Wheeler is expected to start for the Phillies. He went 6 innings, gave up 7 hits, 0 walks, 3 earned runs, and struck out 7 batters in a no decision in his last start against the Miami Marlins. On the season, he has a record of 7-4 with a 4.05 ERA, 1.19 WHIP, and a 119/22 KBB ratio in 18 starts. Opposing batters are hitting .249 against Wheeler. The Phillies have been average on offense this season. They are around the middle of the league in runs, home runs, RBIs, OBP, and OPS. Kyle Schwarber leads the team in home runs. Zach Wheeler and Seth Lugo have been on opposite trajectories since June began. Lugo has been lights out, posting a 2.25 ERA and 1.00 WHIP in 3 starts in June, and a 1.50 ERA and 1.00 WHIP in 1 start in July. Meanwhile, Wheeler has struggled, posting a 4.45 ERA and 1.27 WHIP in 5 starts in June, and a 5.73 ERA and 1.27 WHIP in 2 starts in July. San Diego's offense is too talented to stay as average as it has been. They will heat up in the second half and make a push for a playoff spot. I expect the Padres to win this matchup. Take the Padres on the money line. Both teams have underachieved on offense, but the Padres and Phillies will heat up on offense after the All-Star break. With the likes of Fernando Tatis, Juan Soto, Manny Machado, and Xander Bogaerts, San Diego should be top 5 to 10 in all offensive categories. Philly has a very good offense as well, and they have not gotten the best out of Bryce Harper yet. Zach Wheeler has struggled since June began. In 5 starts in June, Wheeler had a 4.45 ERA and 1.27 WHIP, and in 2 starts in July, Wheeler had a 5.73 ERA and 1.27 WHIP. This will be a higher scoring game and the over will hit. Take the over 8.5 runs. Miami Marlins vs Baltimore Orioles. The Miami Marlins have been one of the surprise stories of the first half, finishing the half in second place behind the Braves, with a combination of quality starting pitching, a near .400 hitter, and a young outfield that has been amongst the best in baseball in the first half. The Marlins finished the first half strong after taking 2 of 3 games from the Phillies. The series win was critical for the Marlins after they were throttled by the Braves in a 3-game sweep just a week prior. Second baseman Luis Arias hit .383 in the first half, and the Marlins got 26 wins from their primary starting 5. The Orioles continue to defy the odds with yet another winning season thus far, despite a team lacking in marquee names. The Orioles come into the second half of the season with the second best record in the American League, and just 2 games behind the Tampa Bay Rays for the top spot in the AL East division. The Orioles closed the first half strong with a 3-game sweep of the Minnesota Twins in Minnesota by a combined score of 24-5 in the series. Overall, they won 5 straight to close out the half. Bradish has been far more efficient and effective at home this season, with an ERA under 3 and a WHIP under 1 at Camden Yards. Luzardo has been much less effective on the road with an ERA over 4.5. The Marlins have also been less effective hitting on the road, scoring nearly a half run less on the road, and ranking just 23rd in baseball in runs scored per game. The Orioles are a respectable 8th in baseball in runs per game, and have hit nearly .260 versus lefties this season. I like the Orioles to close out this weekend set with a win on Sunday over the Marlins. Take the Orioles with the money line. Righty Kyle Bradish will get the ball to close out the series against the Marlins. On the season, Bradish is 5-4 in 16 starts, including 8 quality starts. He has allowed 76 hits in 84 innings pitched with an ERA of 3.32 this season. He has a K9 rate of 8.5 and a WHIP of 1.18. At home, Bradish is 2-3 in 7 starts, but has 6 quality starts in that time. He has allowed just 32 hits in 41.2 innings pitched with an ERA of 2.81. His K9 rate drops to just 6.7 at Camden Yards, while his WHIP is an impressive 0.98 at home. Our total pick is under.